Dixo and ApeChain present ApeChain on Chain and the first ApeCon virtual conference. Finalist Dobprotocol.
We're going to bring up Oscar with
Hi.
Welcome back. Congratulations on making it to the finals in the
Thanks, thank you. Can I share my screen?
Absolutely. Go ahead. If you have any trouble, let us know. But yeah, you should be able to share.
Thanks. Well, here we are. First, I will recap the pitch a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, Dobprotocol. What we are doing with Dobprotocol is unlocking liquidity for the autonomous economy. Like, we are seeing that the assets are no longer for the people. 90% of the people don't own any asset. So actually, will goes even worse because of artificial intelligence, because all the things we envision that will be managed by AI agents in the future. So the ownership is like will be really relevant, because right now you work for get earnings, but the future is about the ownership of the revenues that the machines are making. So that's why we are thinking and developing and implementing a DeFi layer into the physical infrastructure. So what we are trying to do with Dobprotocol is allowing anyone to have a percentage of a share of a physical infrastructure that are already decentralized, because the idea is that if you interact with infrastructure, for example, by paying to electricity in a EV charger station, or using a decentralized Wi-Fi architecture, or using a decentralized GPU, so you can invest and get a percentage of the future revenue that infrastructure will generate in the future. So that's allow anyone to get a percentage of that infrastructure. So how it works is like, we have a platform. Actually, we have like two platforms, but one platform is where you can create and tokenize the device. Right now, we're working with Deepin device because it's easier. And in that platform, you create custom rules for the distribution of profit. So, for example, this device will generate a certain amount of money based on the historical data. So it will be distributing the earnings one per month, for example. So you can invest in 10% of that future revenue, and it works similar to when you invest in a DeFi protocol, because you put stablecoin and you receive API. Here is like the same, but the difference with the current DeFi status is that you are investing actually in the infrastructure. So your money is received that rewards for every earning that machine generate goes to your wallet, and until the expiration of the contract. And what we have right now, we have this is the platform where you can create those smart contracts. And actually, for what we are thinking on Ape, for example, I create one. It's like, for example, you can create a different kind of mechanism for distributing rewards among the, for example, if you launch a specific NFT or a token in the Ape ecosystem, so you can link that token into this concept that we call profit pool. It's like the system where you distribute that earnings from a specific infrastructure. In this case, it's like, for example, imagine that Ape have a judge or a service that you are making money with that. So everyone can invest in the future revenue of that infrastructure, like the judge. And with this system, you can distribute to among all the current holders of that token or your investors. So for example, in this case, we have, for example, an EV charger. So you can buy a participation of a percentage of the EV charger, and the stakeholder receive a participation regarding that the current amount of tokens they hold right now. For example, this account holds 50%, so he will receive 50% of the revenues that that device will generate or infrastructure generates. So that's like this platform is like for making this kind of, in a simple way, those contracts, because it works like a studio. And what we're working right now is the consumer app that is looking like this. It's like if you want only invest, for example, in a percentage of a decentralized infrastructure, you can do it in an easy way. Just put the amount and selecting the type of infrastructure you want to invest, and here it will be displayed all the asset regarding your selection. So, for example, if you want to invest in Wi-Fi networks, or you want to invest in EV chargers or solar panels or whatever, the centralized infrastructure we have available in the platform, it will be here. So you will have the possibility to invest in those yields. So the cool part here is like all this will be linked, because right now, for example, anyone can create a distribution pool and promise that you will distribute the future revenues, because like here is like you're creating an escrow contract with distribution rules, so anyone can do it and promise whatever they want. But the cool idea and what make us different is that we're trying to solve this problem using agents and a mechanism for doing this. So the idea is that the infrastructure that you want to connect into this escrow distribution system is linked in a hardware way. So, for example, in the case of the solar panels, in the inverter, we have a software that runs into that, and all the money that receive the solar panel goes directly into crypto. So when it's in crypto in a non-ROV system connected with the fiat account, we can pass that money into an agent that runs into a trusted executor environment. So the administrator of the infrastructure doesn't have the private key of the account. So the idea is that the money of the infrastructure goes directly into the wallet of the agent wallet, and the administrator can't touch that money. So it depends on the rules of that of what the of the agent, how to proceed with that money. So that ensures that if you create the system of distribution, it ensures that your percentage is protected, because the administrator of the infrastructure is not able to withdraw the money that goes to the private account. So that's like the mechanism we're building right now. But right now in the platform, you can create those profit pools where you can define different kind of rules of distribution, and could serve like a airdrop mechanism as well, or could serve like to engage the community with a specific type of investment you want to make. For example, like the use case I mentioned before, like for example, create buying a yacht for services, and so everyone can invest, and the holders of a specific token receive a percentage of the future revenue of that. You can do it in the platform, but that process, that use case is like trusted, because obviously your community need to trust you in order to put money into a promise. That's that's what we're trying to solve with this kind of tools, like building the agents, building other kind of stuff. It's like Dobprotocol about.
Very, very interesting. Appreciate you sharing. We'll turn it over to the judges. Outer went first last time. Maybe we'll go in reverse order. If I think Raheem's still up there, unless we lost him on our. Are you done sharing, or did you want? Is other things you wanted to share on screen?
Yes, I forgot about that. Here is like, it's like when you combine the agent tech and the deep-in devices, because here you have deep-in devices that are connected into the Dobprotocol architecture, and those devices are depositing the money into the distribution smart contract. So, for example, if you invested into this EV charger, this EV charger will be distribute your percentage to your account. So here you can see the agent that is called Dobby, and the agent is managing right now six chargers. And if you hold a token of those chargers, you will receive revenues. That's like, and here's the architecture, but this part is like more technical. It's like for showing how the rack of the agent works.
Very interesting. Let's go Funky first, and then Outer, if you have any questions for Oscar.
Thanks so much, Cap. Yeah, I mean, this is really cool. I probably have too many questions to ask in the limited time that I actually have, so I'm just going to stick to them. It's an important one, I think. First and foremost, do you already have partnerships in place for like helium, for instance, or these solar power panel providers or the East charging stations? Do you already have those partnerships in place? And two, would there be any sort of geofencing, or is this completely decentralized where anybody could invest and come along and just do this and make some kind of passive income?
Yes, we're working on partnership. We have right now one partnership with a EV charger company, and we're working. We're trying to make a partnership with Blink in Miami. We're based on Miami actually, and we're working on that. But it's like we have finished. We're right now we're in a pre-seed stage, so we're building, finishing the MVP, all the stuff, put all together, and we're working on that right now. But right now, actually, we're trying to make the partnership with Helium, with other deep-in providers here in Miami. We want to be in touch as soon as possible with Borderless Capital, because they have invested a lot in deep-in devices and deep-in startups. So we want to talk with them. We're making some partnership, but it's like we're in finishing all the tech right now. And regarding your second question, everyone can invest in those assets. So let me show you, because we're working on this dashboard, because right now when you go to dobprotocol.com and go to the platform, it's like it's difficult to understand, because it was conceived for a technical guy. But what we are working right now is like this platform that this platform will list all available opportunities in deepin. So everyone could get into this platform and invest. So seeing the information, the financial information about the asset, and those values are calculated based on the blockchain information. So, for example, if you have the EV charger depositing the revenues, the EV charger needs to deposit into the blockchain, so you can see all the information and calculate in real time the yield. So that's the idea. It's like linking the deepin device into the token, because otherwise it's like, for example, right now I have a lot of for example, there is a lot of RW based projects and deepin projects that are more like in order to participate in the decentralized physical infrastructure economy, you need to buy their token. For example, if you want to buy, I don't know, participate in an RWA projects, it's like buy my token. But what we're trying to solve is like investing directly into the asset that actually is making the money. So that's the difference. It's like here you invest directly into a specific hardware and to a specific physical infrastructure that is like for you is great because, for example, if you use the local infrastructure that you have in your community, like a automatic laundry machine, automatic coffee shop, or I don't know, in the future, automated shops or wherever that is running using agents. Probably right now in the future will be a lot of infrastructure that will be automated. So if you are with this kind of tools, it will be easy for anyone to get a percentage of that, because it's like what we envision. We envision that the future is about to secure the ownership of what you consume, because obviously all will be automated, all will be running by AI agents, and so it's like how do empower people to get revenues of that automated economy, because most of the people will be useless in this kind of economy. So with those tools, even we're working in a concept that probably in the future is like wherever you buy or you use a service, you get a percentage of the future revenue of that service. For example, if you go to in the simple use case, like charge your vehicle, your electric vehicle, so only for charging your vehicle with that EV station, you get a percentage of the future revenue. It's like the cashback that we have right now, but better. It's like a better version of the cashback because it's about holding ownership regarding the future revenues, and also you require less compliance because it's not like the ownership of the things, it's about the ownership of the revenues. So makes more sense for the people actually, because what for the people is about the how get this ownership makes sense to me, so in an economic way. So makes sense because you will receive a future revenue of that infrastructure.
Right on. Outer Lumen, Raheem, any other further questions that you had?
I just had a quick question on the legal side of things, because you mentioned that, like, for me, the Ape Chain, the NFTs on Ape Chain piqued my interest, but like I understand you're giving out revenue to NFT holders. I know Funky touched on the geo-blocking thing, but I'm just like making sure, would that be considered as a security? How would like you tackle on that front? Also, yes, sorry for losing my connection, but I heard the entire thing. I made sure I had another device. So sorry about that.
Yes, about the legal compliance, it's different because what we're doing here is like we're not tokenizing the real, like the physical ownership of the thing. So the ownership, the papers that, for example, that EV charger is mine or yours, it remains into the original owner. So the administrator or the company that hold those assets will be the legal owner of the asset. But the difference is that the revenues that asset produce are decentralized. So that's why we call this concept like the DeFi layer of deepin ecosystem, because it's a different concept. It's like you are not tokenizing the legal ownership, so you with this concept, you don't have the ownership problem that most of RWA's projects have, because you are only tokenizing the future revenues of the asset. So require less compliance, less barriers. Actually, the current legislation about this is like the same as meme coins. It's like holding an FT with royalties. So doesn't care that kind of system, because are based on trust. That's why because if you, for example, you buy a percentage of the example that I showed, the ape judge, for example, if you buy the 10% of the future revenue of that service, you need to trust the company that will deposit the earnings of the service. But what we are really hard working right now to solve is like be sure that you have all the technical connections that makes that process automatically. Like, for example, your fiat account, where you receive your payments, are linked with the agent. So all the money, when you receive for example, in your Stripe account is automated. So all the money goes directly into an on-run system, then goes into in crypto, for example, in Ape, then goes to a wallet. The wallet is running into a TE, so anyone, even the administrator, can manage the private key on that. So it's like we're trying really hard to making all the pieces that for this kind of services be trustless. Because right now, promising the future revenue is like, yeah, you need to trust the person who built the project. But we are trying to create here is like to create the tools for anyone to connect their account or connect a specific account or a specific, for example, in the case of dipping, it's easier because in all of the dipping devices you set up a reward address. So that reward address is like actually for our system is the profit pool address. So all the rewards goes directly into that address that already have all the distribution rules. So as long as that address isn't changed, and if with our system, because what we're doing also is like creating plugins for example, helium devices, EV chargers providers that wants to decentralize their EV chargers. So it will be set up in the hardware. So it will be really difficult to change that. So that's like what we are trying to do.
Perfect. Thank you, Oscar.
Thanks for listening to ApeChain on Chain. This project is powered by the ApeCoin DAO through AIP 572, bringing our community's valuable conversations on chain and also on traditional audio platforms. Rate this episode and/or leave feedback and earn Dixo rewards by visiting the Dixo on-chain platform.